video is about protecting Veeam backup server with Data Security Manager. What is this about? Why do we want to do this at all? Well, it's for better protection of your Veeam backups. Consider you've got your Veeam server here. And inside you've got a couple of backups. Ideally, you protect these. For that, you are going to generate data encryption keys inside of Veeam. And these will protect your backups. So far, so good. But now there are bad guys out there. They are hunting your data and they want to steal your data. Consider we've got one bad guy here, and he gets access to your Veeam server. So somehow he is hacking you. He gets access to the backup file. It's encrypted, so that doesn't help him yet. But as he's got access to the server, then he will also be able to get hold of your data encryption key, and in combination, he will be able to decrypt your backup, and then he can just restore all your data, and your data is lost. This is something that you really want to avoid. So what's the best practice? So first of all, you should follow a general principle, which is separate your encrypted data from your encryption keys. So that means we're going to store the encrypted key in a cryptographic store, an external store. Ideally, you're using an HSM, a hardware security module, and in this case, we are going to use Data Security Manager. So we have Data Security Manager here. And inside of Data Security Manager, we are going to generate a key encryption key. In this case, we are going to create an asymmetric key, which consists of two parts. So there's the first part, which is the keg pub and priv, and then the second one is the keg pub. The public part can be exported into Veeam. Veeam does that for you. So it's going to land here. And this will then encrypt your data encryption key. At some point, you want to decrypt your backups. And what you need to do then is that you reach out to DSM, to the private key, and then you're sending in the data encryption key to be decrypted here, and then you get back the decrypted data encryption key, and with that you can decrypt the backup file. Your attacker has the following, or sees the following. He has got this encrypted backup. He's stealing that. He's stealing your encrypted data encryption key. That doesn't help him. And he may also steal your public key, but that doesn't help him at all. He won't be able to decrypt your data. What he needs to do is that he gets access to the key encryption key, but he cannot steal this. This is not possible. He will not be able to decrypt your data. Good. This is what we need to achieve. This is what we want to set up. For that, we are having to combine Veeam and DSM. We will have to create here a connection. Actually, Veeam will reach out to DSM, and here we are using the protocol KMIP. The only thing that you need to do is that you configure Veeam and DSM, because both of them speak KMIP already, and this is all that you need to do. So let's get through the steps of integrating Veeam with Data Security Manager. As you see, I've got the Veeam console open already. Please check that you've got a valid license, otherwise the integration won't work. Here under Inventory, I have already a server and there's a specific folder that I would like to back up and encrypt. In order to encrypt it, I first need to configure the KMS in Veeam. This is done through Credentials and Passwords, Key Management Service, and here I have to add a new KMS. In this new panel, I need to provide the hostname of the server. In this case, I'm using the DSM in EU SAS. The hostname is eu.smartkey.io. The port is 5696, which is the standard KMIP port. Then I have to provide here two certificates. First of all, that's the server certificate of DSM and then the client certificate of Veeam. To create the server certificate or to get it, I go to DSM. Here that's the eu.smartkey.io in my browser and I click on the padlock icon. I scroll down to the certificate and download it. So now I can browse for it on my computer. I select it from a file and I change it to the file type PEM. And here it is. No password, just like that. So the first part is done. For the second certificate, we have to do a couple of steps. So first of all, we need to configure DSM. When you're generating a key in DSM, then you will have to create it inside of a group. So we first of all create a new group. We just give it an arbitrary name. And we will need to allow Veeam to connect to DSM and to connect to this group. And we do that with an app. So we create a new app as well. We're using the KMIP protocol. We will use a certificate-based authentication, but at that point we do not have the certificate yet, so therefore we will just set it to API key authentication. And we click on Save. Then we've got the app as well, and very important, here we've got the UUID of the app. So you will now need to go to your PKI team and ask for certificates for that UUID. So this UUID has to go into the common name of the certificate. I do not have a PKI team right now, so I'm just doing that very simple with OpenSSL. So I've got OpenSSL open already, and I need two commands. The first one is to generate a key pair, an RSA key pair, and that will spit out the key and the certificate as PEM format. I will have to provide here a couple of values. We can just leave blank most of them. But here in the common name, this is very important, we will have to use the UUID of the app. Now Veeam requires us to give it a PKCS12 file, so we'll have to convert the private key and the certificate into a PFX file. I'm not using any password for now. So we have done that, and then the last bit here is that we need to tell DSM that it's supposed to use now this new certificate. So we change the authentication method to certificate, and we will need to upload the certificate. That is here. So we've got the certificate. paste the certificate here and click on update. So DSM is ready. Now we have to go back to Veeam and configure that as well. So here we have to choose the certificate, in this case the PFX file. I import it from a file. It's in the OpenSSL folder. That is our PFX file. I didn't provide any password, and then just click on finish. I can just give it here a description. I will just call it DSM EU SaaS. And now we can click on OK. And now Veeam will try to contact DSM to generate a key. So we click on OK, and let's just check in DSM. So we can go back to the group. And we see that there's a new key here available. I can have a look at the key, and I see that Veeam has triggered DSM to create a key, to activate it, and then it was also doing some encryption, decryption operation with this key. Good, so we are ready now to encrypt something or create a backup and encrypt it. For that, we will just go back here and we create a backup job, and we're going to use here file share. You can just use any name. We are going to add the file share. And then you have to click here on the advanced. Here on the storage, under the tab storage, you will have to say that you want to encrypt it. And we are going to use the eu.smartkey.io as the KMS. So I click on OK. And we click on Next, Next, Apply, and then we just want to execute the job. So I click on that, and then Veeam is busy to create this backup and to encrypt it. What we will see in DSM now is that when we go back to the group, then we see there is another key. That's the file backup job, and this was just created by Veeam. It's a private and public key pair. Veeam will actually export the public key, which is public, and it will encrypt the backup with this public key, and when we restore the backup later, then the private part will be used. So this was successful. We have successfully created a backup and encrypted it with DSM.